protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I think we were ready to play today. I don't want to take away from that. We were ready to go. Obviously, a little slow start, but definitely blood was going after that. It was a whole mess out there, and we felt the need to really finish the drive. So this is football. We started playing football, and just definitely just wanted to really just finish with Trev too. I mean that was a kind of a deep down thing too. Is just keep playing for him.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, everybody, welcome into Jaguars Today, not a Victory Monday. And let me just say off the top, any opinions expressed today are not those of 1010XL or the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are the hosts alone, and Aziz Al-Shair is a piece of human scum. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Others may feel differently, but that's how I feel. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Good morning. Doing fine.
DG, welcome back.
I almost made it down into the field, man.
Did you?
I was real close.
I think all of Duval wanted to fight at that moment, and I would not have blamed any Jacksonville Jaguar. Now, look, if this was division title on the line in Week 18, you got to be smart, right? But at that point, anybody who got tossed, anybody who did anything over the top, I wasn't going to bat an eye.
No. Not even a little bit. I mean, the play you're talking about, the hit on Trevor, it was just so malicious. It normally in that situation when there is contact because the quarterback slid and he slid a little late or something like that, there might be a brushing. There might be a little bit of a hit, but not a forearm to the face. Like, that's already illegal. The guy's already on his butt, and you're still providing such force with your contact that you're trying to injure the guy. And that's not where football ever is. And I go back to the last time that I remember something that vicious. It was Trent Green. He was sliding in an era where they didn't care.
Right. So
we didn't care.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. If you're not down yet, we can tattoo you. But even then, everybody realized, okay, that can't be a part of this sport whatsoever, because he's defenseless. Like, he's not even trying. You can't even protect yourself in that situation. And I was listening to Rex Ryan say earlier today, quarterbacks have to stop doing that when they get in traffic like that. And I understand,
Traffic.
I know.
What?
I thought the same thing. I said, so you want him to die? He said, I'd rather him go head first right at the guy's ankles. And I said, well, now they're leading with their head, and now somebody can try to strike you in the air because you're diving. I said, that is a play for a quarterback to survive and not have to take these hits. We're trying to protect quarterbacks, right? That's more than a prime example. That is the example of you should be protecting the quarterback, and that's everybody on the field, because the quarterback is not trying to do anything. He's just giving himself up.
Well, and it's not like it's an abnormal thing for a quarterback to slide, right? In today's NFL.
Yeah.
That play has happened probably 1,000 times between every game that's been played to this point this season. It's the only time it's resulted in this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's the only time that a player took that kind of shot at the guy when he slid. Like, I don't understand any defense of the defensive player in the situation. It is as cheap a shot as you can have. Everybody in the league on defense has had to deal with that at some point in the field where the quarterback goes to slide. You have to adjust your body so you're not giving him that direct shot, trying to get over him, beside him, whatever you have to do to not put that shot on the player. We all know that's what's expected of you. We know it's not the easiest thing in the world to adjust that quickly on the fly. I can give you the benefit of the doubt if it's kind of a glancing blow. You get the 15-yard penalty. We're all like, man, come on.
Right. If you dive over him, you kind of make the contact as you're sliding over
You happen to contact him, but you weren't trying.
You don't cock the forearm and deliver it to the face.
Right to the face.
I mean, like you said, that alone is illegal in any circumstance.
Yep.
Never mind the fact, one, where the quarterback has a bubble around him. You can talk about, we're in a soft game. But these are the rules that of engagement
Yeah,
that
the game
Trevor
is soft.
Lawrence
You
is
can't do
playing
that.
under.
You can't do that.
You can't do that under any circumstance.
And the reason why, you could say, well, we're out here to try to take out their quarterback. Well, you got a quarterback too. Do you want your quarterback taken out? And that's why there is an agreement between all these guys to say, we're not ever going to do something like that because we are trying to protect our quarterback too, who is going to run. He is going to slide. And you're just making it open season on quarterbacks. If that's the case, nobody wants that.
Look, I applaud Evan Ingram. We're going to miss some guys. Evan Ingram, Jarian Jones, Brandon Sheriff, Ryan Thomas, Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. We're singling out guys that were easy to pick out in defense of Trevor Lawrence. I would not have batted an eye if they had taken shots after the whistle on C.J. Stroud for the rest of the day. And you could say,
that's the reason why you don't do that kind of stuff.
And I'm not speaking for the organization, this organization. I'm speaking as honestly as I can and out of emotion. If Trayvon Walker had taken out C.J. Stroud when he ran out of bounds, 2 steps out of bounds, I would have started a GoFundMe to pay that fine.
Yeah.
I don't care. I really would not have cared at that point in time. You brought it on yourselves. And,
But C.J. Stroud didn't bring it on him.
No, but
he just happens to be on that team.
Yes, but DeMeco Ryans getting up after the game. Well, this is not indicative of the kind of person he is. Yes, it is. That's who he is. Yeah. That's what he did. Look,
I don't care who he is as a person.
Yeah.
The only thing I care about is who he is as a player, and that's who he is as a player. He's done it over and over.
Tony, even if you hadn't done it over and over, you did it.
Yeah.
Right
you did it, right? It wasn't accidental.
It just takes one play to be a bad guy, and it's one play with the forearm shiver.
Yeah.
That's where it really went over the top.
I was watching the game when he choked Tom Brady. I saw it.
Right, we saw. Look, the hit they show on him on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams was inbounds.
Yeah,
it was a violent hit. Okay, but he gets up and punches Roshan Johnson in the face, and on the side, this is who he is.
Yeah,
he's dirty. That's who he is, and he's a scumbag. And we'll see what the NFL does.
He shouldn't be playing the rest of the season.
He shouldn't be playing the rest of the season. Now, will that be the case? I don't know. They should take past behavior into account in this instance. And look, I'm so mad. Look, it's a shame because Mac Jones, hell of a performance off the bench. Parker Washington, outstanding day. Brian Thomas Jr. made some nice plays. The offensive line did not allow a sack. Danielle Hunter came in blazing hot. And Will Anderson didn't sniff the quarterback yesterday. So, the guy we just paid $45 million to didn't allow any sacks. Let's just at least say that yesterday. So we'll get into that as well with the Walker Little contract extension being announced right before the game, or about 3 hours before the game. The word got out on that, and we'll get into all that. But today we want your reaction, and whether that's a reaction to Al-Shaair, it's a reaction to Trevor Lawrence, it's a reaction to how they played or the big picture, whatever. It's all fair game. Here's what gets me. Dylan, we got the 10-10 take there ready to fire up. Let's fire that bad boy up. Well, I'm emotional right now.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by
Double checked. Cybersecurity made simple.
All right, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I'm entitled to mine too about your opinion, okay? And if your opinion, I see this one, and I won't even read who it is because this is emblematic of many that I've gotten. Trevor should have never been in the game since he's not 100%. Terrible decision by the terribly managed franchise. You ever play less than 100%, Dave?
Yeah.
Like every
almost
game?
every game.
Almost every game, right? What did Trevor Lawrence's shoulder have to do with anything that happened yesterday? Other than the fact that he hadn't played the last couple weeks and he was rusty. And you could tell he wasn't sharp yesterday throwing it. But in terms of him getting injured, had nothing to do with the shoulder. He could have been 100%. He could have been pristine first day, just taken out a bubble wrap, and he got a forearm that rocked his head into the turf yesterday. So this idea that you're just shutting everyone down with 6 weeks to go when you can play, I just don't understand it. And if it's the last week of the season, okay.
Yeah.
Right? You were still going in that game mathematically alive to win the division. Now, is it likely? No, it's not. But could you have beaten that team yesterday? You lost by 3. Of course you could have beaten that team. You missed a field goal, which is a rare occasion for Cam Little. I'm not putting this on Cam. I'm just saying 1 or 2 plays here or there. So this idea that the organization somehow forced Trevor out there and it's malpractice. Trevor is a football player, and he's a tough guy in his own way, and he played through a bunch of injuries last year because that's what football players do.
That's what we do. That is, you are trying to be that guy. You want to be the guy that can toughen it out, that can go out there with a little injury here, a little injury there, because we all got them. It's a violent sport, and you can show up and show the fans that you can play through injuries. That's what we are. We try to be as much a gladiator as we can, and that is one of the things that we aspire to be, to play through injuries.
I'm not saying if you're injured to the point you can't protect yourself or it's diminishing your performance.
We would have seen him play where he's hobbling around or he's constantly going at his shoulder,
or he's turning. To
like
himself.
He's doing stuff that's not a part of the game, but he was playing just like he looked like he was healthy. Now, like we said, he might have been a little rusty. He hadn't played in a few weeks. Those kind of things happen as well. If we were 8-2 or whatever, nobody would be saying that. They would be saying, get him back out there so we can keep winning these ball games. But it's a little different when the record is what it is, and people want to have opinions after the fact. The quarterbacks didn't even get touched yesterday, like you said, in the pocket, barely any pressure. So that would have been the best game possible to come back for. If he had been getting pounded, maybe you get him out early because he's just getting beat up out there. But that wasn't the case. And you can't look at this play and say, well, he shouldn't have been out there. Now he's hurt because they put him out there and they forced him to play. No. He
could have been standing on the sideline, and that play would have had just as much legitimacy as if Al-Shahir had run up and hit him with a forearm there.
Yeah.
It was an illegal play outside the bounds of what's acceptable. And, yes, do you risk taking an illegal shot when you play football? But you risk that when you're the first day of camp. You risk that every day of your football career to some degree. So this idea that Trevor is we have to treat him like this fragile guy, I think is wrong. Would you going back to his second year or going into his second year, they had the number 1 pick. They took Trayvon, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when they got eliminated that year to clinch the record or to miss the playoffs, should we have sat him that year too? Do we sit him every year? Yeah. As soon as you're eliminated from the playoffs, that's it. We're not going to play Trevor Lawrence anymore? And I get it. You're saying, oh, he was hurt. He wasn't 100%. Had no impact on what went down yesterday.
Nobody's 100% out there.
That's my 10-10 take for the day. We'd love for you to share yours with us. Good morning, Pockets. How are you?
I'm great, Mike. You have a good Thanksgiving?
It was okay. How about you?
It was pretty good, man.
I had a run-in with not a run-in with with a relative of a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wasn't a run-in.
Do tell.
Well, I don't know. It's just I saw a lovely lady who is related to one of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll just say that and wish her a very merry and happy Thanksgiving holiday and all that good stuff and extra helping of cranberry sauce. So there you go. All right. If you want to get in today, you know how to do it. 641-1010 on the Garber Automall phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can hit us up in the YouTube virtual studio chat. You can hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at David Garrard _9 on Instagram, and at 1010XL Denmark.
I'm just sorry we're in this situation.
So are we. But that's just where we find ourselves. Jags, I guess, Tone, it's weird. The Patriots have a better record than the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
They are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. The Jags are not. Now, I think it's because if Denver were to lose all their games and the Jags were to win all their games, we'd catch them and we'd have a better conference record and we'd win the tiebreaker. Right? I'm not saying like, oh, look, we got a chance.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't that be the case with New England, right? Unless maybe there's some opponents that would have to beat Denver that would also then impact New England's ability. But
yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand how a team with a better record than the Jags
you just want to talk draft talk, that's all.
I really don't today because there's a lot. But look, I have a feeling that we may lift the moratorium very, very soon. Look, if Denver wins tonight, I think you'll see that little E for eliminated next to the Jags. But, all right, let's talk about what went down yesterday. Your thoughts on, what happened, thoughts on the game, thoughts on decisions made in the game, performances, the dirty scumbag that plays for the Houston Texans, the Jags' reaction to that, Trevor Lawrence going forward, how you'd handle things. All that is fair game and more here on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. You didn't have to be like me looking through Pella Windows to see clearly what happened on the field yesterday. But if you do have Pella Windows and Doors, man, do they look good. They make your house look good, make your house more energy efficient, and they up the resale value as well. They are Consumer Reports' #1 choice in all the major window categories. That's Pella Windows and Doors with a showroom on Phillips Highway. You can check them out online at PellaJax.com and let their professional design consultants guide you through your entire project from start to finish. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Good drives bring more points. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville brings you the drive of the game.
Great job.
On 1010XL. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey gang, Prosser here, telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. In celebration of Awaken 180's 10th anniversary, Dave B., one of Awaken 180's very first clients, has a message to anyone looking for a long-term solution for weight loss.
When I kept the weight off the first year, when I kept the weight off the second year, when I kept the weight off the third year, when I was able to kind of just continue to sustain, and again, it was because I had the support. I know the support made the difference. All the different people I've talked to over the years, they've all been really very supportive. That was one of the differentiators, where they were going to provide support to me for life. So it was the complete package. Paige, I want to say thank you for developing Awaken 180. It is an incredible program. It has changed my life, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you very much.
To piggyback on Dave's message, I also want to thank Paige and send my congratulations on Awaken 180's 10th anniversary. 10 years, over 23,000 clients, all of which receive free support for life. Find your solution at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Now the performance painting high performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Young Guns kept their fight even when facing a deficit, and Big Mac would deliver in a huge moment for Jacksonville off the bench. Mac Jones would find Parker Washington for a 22-yard touchdown, making the score 23-12 with 7:49 left in the third period. The Washington score is your Performance Painting play of the game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over till Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the latest on the Gators from one of the greatest Gators.
Touchdown, Gators!
Chris Doring joins Dan and Jeff on the drill Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. It's never fun to have a septic issue on Christmas Day. So go ahead and call Duck Duck Rooter and have your septic tank pumped out today.
904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJax.com.
All right, I put the picture of DG back front and center that Lily drew because it's been down for a while. We haven't been playing, and they've been loose, particularly, out of sight, out of mind. But, sending our best wishes. And Trevor said last night he's feeling a lot better and all that. And who knows? Everyone reacts differently to those concussive blows.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've learned the fact that we know the term fencing response. It tells you that
That's
this
what it's
happens
called?
way too much. Yeah, when you're seized up
Stiff.
like that.
Yeah.
And I learned it from Tua, right? And
okay.
they talked about that's called the fencing response. And you can see it with other guys that they kind of seize up a little bit. So, my guess, Tony, and it's only a guess, like at a minimum, like I know there are going to be a lot of people shut him down, whatever. And this is probably something they're going to consider because it depends on how long concussion symptoms linger. But once you get that response, I feel like it takes the concussion to a higher level almost. Like I'd be stunned if Trevor Lawrence could clear the concussion protocol this week.
Yeah, he was able to clear it the week he had the one last year, right? And was able to play the week after he had suffered that concussion. But it is still the second concussion that he's had that we know about, in a year's time. And this one obviously appeared more severe with the fencing response while he was on the field. I was glad to see Trevor Lawrence back on the field yesterday. I was excited to see him playing again and what exactly that could mean for the team and the energy for the team in that game against Houston yesterday with absolutely no real expectation that this is a team that's going to find a way to win the last six and, take advantage of that 20% chance to be a playoff team if they were able to pull that off. But now that you've had that injury, they are 2-10. I am fully on board in support of I don't need to see him again this year. Yeah. Right? Like I'm okay with it, with where it is right now, with not seeing him again this year. But he is the guy that he's going to push to play. Like that's the personality he has, and I won't blame him for being the guy that's going to push to play. Like if he gets shut down, it's going to be because somebody else has to make the decision that, Trevor, we're putting you on an IR, whatever they're going to do with him, to say, look, we'll see you in 2025 and get yourself well. You got a bunch of stuff going on.
Right. Head injuries are in a different category.
They are.
Right?
Yeah.
And even if you clear the protocol, there's some, I'm not a doctor. Obviously, I think there are mixed opinions on this, but there's some school of belief that you're more susceptible the closer you are to taking another blow to the head. So even if you clear the, quote, protocol and you can pass all their baseline tests and all that stuff, that doesn't mean you're not at a higher risk for a brain injury. Like, you could say, well, you're at a higher risk for a left shoulder injury. Maybe, but that's a lot to me in a completely different category.
Yeah.
We're talking about quality of life. We're talking, anyway, let's let the folks listening have their say on what went down yesterday, starting at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. Thanks for your patience. Let's go to TJ on the south side to start things off. What's up, TJ?
Good morning, fellas. I'm just going to make this quick about the Trevor situation. I was so mad when it happened live, and I just took everything out of me not to come out of work and go downtown. That's what it took, because I was just so mad. But then I was looking at the clip. You can see how the teammates reacted when he hit him. They knew he was in the wrong, so I'm not sure why all this apology. He told me it's not his intent. I'm sure it's not his intent, but like you guys say, it's the forearm. You never go down, try to dove in with the forearm. Like, I don't understand what was the point of that, and I really do appreciate the team all backing up for him. Like somebody said on Twitter, it shows what kind of leadership Trevor has on his locker room. And I'm just proud of that, what leadership he has, and I could hope to see him back next year.
All right, TJ, appreciate it, man. Look, I think Al-Shaair's a liar. I think he did intend to hurt him.
Yeah.
You don't make that play without an intent to hurt the guy, period, in my opinion. And you can say anything, you're soft, the game's not like it used to be. You're right, it's not like it used to be.
You used to be able to put that kind of hit on somebody and everyone would be like, wow.
You used to be able to clothesline people legally.
But
trust the net.
The NFL isn't that way anymore. And I get that there are fans that want it to be.
You could never do that. Whenever a quarterback was sliding, you could never just take him out like that. I went back to Trent Green. That was 20, 30 years ago. And it was illegal then, and it's still illegal. That is not a play any football player wants to make. Now, some do because they think they can get the quarterback knocked out of the game, or they can, make a big hit here. But that is not a play that is ever, that I've been alive, has been allowed in football.
All right, let's go to Tim in Fernandina Beach up next. Tim, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I just got a quick question. So on that play, he gets taken out, the flag is thrown, and the play is dead. And then all the other melees came, and the other penalties ensued. Why were they offsetting? Why wouldn't we have taken the 15-yard personal foul penalty and then the other penalties offset? Because they were, after the play was over, were all the other penalties.
Well, the only ones they called after the play were on the Jaguars. So I don't know what you think. Like, if let's say the Jags take 15 yards on Al-Shaair. Okay, then we're going to throw the other ones on Ingram and Jarian Jones. So if you can only accept one of those, then we're going to take the 15 and we're going to go right back to where they are. This has always been the way it is. If there's one foul, if it comes post-play, if it comes during the play, well, I guess there are some times when there are some post-play fouls that get judged a little bit differently.
And I don't know why sometimes there's a foul that's 15 yards and then there's a foul that's 10 yards.
And they should be at 5 yards.
Yeah,
right.
but they don't do that.
No. And,
they just say both of y'all made fouls.
Pass interference, 47 yards, 5-yard offside.
Exactly.
Offsetting.
And then it's offsetting.
Or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I picked a better example. I used 2 defensive penalties. But, yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't surprised. That's how they do it in these circumstances. So I felt like get your money's worth in there, right? They're not gonna penalize you anymore. They can only move you back 15 yards. Yeah. Everybody gets them.
Yeah.
Brandon Sheriff's like, oh, you're gonna take your helmet off? All right, let's go. I ain't afraid. Took his helmet right off. He's like, let's go. Country boy was trying to chase him down there. Anyway, appreciate the call, Tim. That's just typical NFL fair.
I'd like to know why, though. It just cancels out when there's some yardage left there.
You had a 15. You could if
not
it didn't
just
cancel,
that one, just in general.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. When it's an imbalance, but in this case, like there was one penalty called on the Texans, 2 on the Jags. Right. So if you're going to go that route, they should have backed the Jags up 15 yards. Right.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Obviously. Tim, thank you for the call. Eric on the west side, next up here on Jaguars Today. What's going on, Eric?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Yesterday I was in attendance at the game, and I seen everything from the end zone. That was where my seat was, and it was just crazy because you could see everything happening from Trevor starting to slide and the dude literally launching himself into Trevor, and it was just dirty. It was just disrespectful. I wanted to jump down there and defend Trevor because, like, Trevor, we come here every Monday. We critique Trevor when he's good, and we talk about him when he do bad. But all in all, we still go ride and die for Trevor. And it's just unfortunate that we lost by 3. And shout out to Parker Washington. He made some incredible catches, and route running was top tier yesterday. And that's my take.
All right, Eric, appreciate it, man. Look, we can all sit here and debate how good Trevor is as a player, right? And as long as it's not character assassination, it's like, hey, man, he has flaws. He also has great pluses as well, and we try to be fair about that. And people come in with different opinions about performance and all that. This goes way beyond performance. This is like this. There, nothing to my knowledge, has Trevor ever done anything that wouldn't make every eye in that locker room look at him as the man, the leader, that he's played through injury. He doesn't complain about anything. He just goes out there, does his job. He never says the wrong thing. I don't know what more you want from the guy. Is he a perfect player? No. But from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, and that would be the same. Look, if it happened to Mac Jones, you might not have as wide an uproar because it's the backup. That's just a reality. But I would hope that the team would rally to his defense. If it happened to the last guy on the roster, I would hope that you would get a similar response.
Absolutely.
All right.
Better.
Right. Or even bigger. Yeah. Let's go to Steve in Melbourne up next here on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Steve.
Morning, guys. I'll try and keep it as clean as I can. That little apology thing, I don't buy that at all. I mean, not when there's so much film on you doing so many dirty things. But, he's trying to say, I couldn't pull up or whatever. No, you had no intention of pulling up, and you forearm this guy with an arm that's braced up in an arm brace, and basically it looked like he was one of those slow-mo knockout videos you watch on, like, YouTube or whatever. You followed through with everything. I'm glad for Evan Ingram, Brenton Strange, everybody that stood up. And I'm sure, like me, everybody out in Duval and everybody in the studio, we had our money on Brandon Sherrick going up on him.
Oh, hell yeah. No question. All right, Steve, thank you. The Pro Football Talk, whatever you think of Florio and the gang, has a great photo. I'm sure it's out there in other places as well, of Trevor Lawrence coming right at you in his slide. Al-Shahir is still up. His forearm's not up yet. Okay, it's kind of like at waist level, but it's parallel to the ground. So, the play's over at this point. So, at this point, he has to raise the forearm, lower his target area, and strike Trevor in the face. I mean, and he wants to say that he's not a dirty player and he never tried to hurt anybody. That's the goal of it, right? Like, own it, right?
Yeah.
Vontez Burfict Jr.
Yep. Like, the world is crazy that there's anyone out there that feels the need to defend the play. Like, it's absolutely
every Texan
nuts.
fan,
right? Like,
in this guy's timeline.
It's crazy, and I know we've had plays where they've been kind of borderline, and I've defended Jags players. Like, I defended Cisco on the hit in Kansas City. I was like, that felt like a football play to me. Right? Like, that felt like a safety in the open field with a player trying to make a play on the ball. That's what that play felt like to me. Was it hard? Yeah. And in today's NFL, that's the kind of play, it looks so violent that it's going to be a flag, right? So I can see the argument on both sides of that kind of thing, and certainly Kansas City fans still feel like Andre Cisco's a dirty player.
But it's still football plays.
But that was football. This wasn't football.
No.
This was something else. I can't understand, and it's anybody who's not a Texans fan who has thought about it for 2 seconds that has spent any energy defending it. Why? Why would you ever want to see that again?
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody who's not a Texan fan try to defend it. And I would hope that if you saw that happen as a Jaguar fan from one of your players doing that you wouldn't defend that either.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Well, I look at it as in basketball, when you go up for a dunk or something like that and somebody comes from behind you and pushes you in the air, like just shoves you in the air.
Yeah.
Like you can come down and land on your head, neck, whatever, and be paralyzed. Those kind of plays are not a part of the sport at all. That is not a part of the sport. That wasn't bang, bang. Trevor didn't go down too late or anything. You just know when a quarterback is coming around like that and he's turning sideways to start that slide in motion, that's it. He can't do anything else after that. He can't start the slide and then turn up and start running like we saw the kid from Pittsburgh years ago do it. It's just not a play. You can't do that. So for anybody to say anything other than it was a terrible, vicious, dirty, should never be a play that happens in the game, they're wrong.
Albert Breer posts, well done apology from Azeez Al-Shahir on the hit on Trevor Lawrence. Well done, my ass.
It was the same kind of thing from Ian Rappaport.
I mean, give me a break. Well done. What, that it was written well?
That's what I'm saying.
It's a freaking pack of lies is what it is.
Get up there and talk. Let us see you talk.
All right, we got to take a time out here. We'll come back. More of your reaction to that and everything that is Jaguar football at the moment. You're listening to Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You know what? Temperature's cooling down. Dandy's going to warm up your belly with some great selections. They've always had a great line of sandwiches and subs. I'll eat that tuna salad in any kind of weather, but with cooler weather arriving, it's good timing to try that hot roast beef and provolone. Maybe an Italian combo that'll absolutely melt in your mouth, or an all-white meat spicy buffalo chicken if that's a little too hot for you. Nothing beats the classic big old juicy 100% beef cheeseburger. All those options served on fresh ciabatta bread, which is baked locally, delivered daily, as you'd expect, from the Thompson family, who've thrived as a business with Dandy and the Anytime Deli line of sandwiches and subs for nearly 70 years. So swing into an area gate station, head to the fresh case after you fill up your tank and fill up your belly with some of that goodness from Dandy. Quality ingredients, great variety, and prices that always put a smile on your face. When you're hungry in Duval, go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook was slicing and dicing while in the Sunshine State. The Jacksonville punter tallied 191 yards on 4 punts, with his longest going for 64 yards. He left his opposition fried all game long and is your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Cyber threats don't take timeouts. Protect your business with DoubleCheck Cybersecurity's AI-powered solutions. Get 24/7 defense and stop hackers before they score. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com to schedule your free security consultation today.
Arrested? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems? Gun charges? Drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Stop letting high-interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days thanks to Loan Pronto's new Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Imagine a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses an AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their debt, launched a home improvement project, and is now saving over $1,000 a month. Instant approvals, low fixed rates, fast transfers. Get cash to consolidate all your debt and get a fresh start for the new year. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much you qualify for. Imagine this time next week, you can be credit card debt-free. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS, consumeraccess.org.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The reaction of the Jaguars broadcast to the hit that knocked Trevor Lawrence out of Sunday's game.
Trevor's looking. He wants to run it to midfield. Slides out. Oh, he got drilled. What in the world? He absolutely got drilled, and there's a melee, and I don't blame him. He slid to the ground. He's still on the ground. That's about as cheap a shot as you'll ever see in the NFL.
It's a brawl. It's a flat-out brawl. And Evan Ingram went at the linebacker. Azeez Al-Shaair hits Trevor Lawrence as he's going feet first down to the ground, and I think Trevor got KO'd.
What a cheap shot that was.
Call courtesy of Jaguars Radio. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
You ought to say for the handful of Texan supporters, I guess, or just outright idiots who want to get up in my timelines and defend anything that Al-Shaair did yesterday, hearty GFY for you. That's go find yourself. Like go off to a commune and find yourself. Mm-hmm. I think that's what that means.
Okay.
Go find yourself, and you're blocked. And just because I'm not like, there's nothing you can contribute to my timeline.
Nope.
That I'm going to want to see. In fact, if a random meteor were to strike you in the head, it would improve the gene pool for all of us. So I'm just saying, I don't control what happens to meteors. I'm just saying,
things
randomly,
happen.
if things happen, You know, if somebody randomly walked up to you on the street and forearmed you in the face until your head hit the concrete, you know, it's no big deal, I'm sure. For you, all right, 641-1010. Go find yourself, Texan fans. All right, 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. Let's go to Ryan in East Arlington next up here on Jaguars Today. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
You tell us.
You know, what my thing is, I'm wondering what is Shaw letting Bulky negotiate contracts for? I'm trying to read between the tea leaves here, and I can't figure out, is it Bulky trying to figure out his standing in the organization? Shaw just let him do that? I mean, normally you got a dead man GM walking, you aren't going to let him negotiate stuff, and here he is bringing in another contract for a guy as a dude. It kind of signals to me that he isn't going anywhere. Why would you let somebody negotiate something when another guy is going to be coming in behind him? It just, all of that just reeks of not being in control and knowing what do you mean it doesn't reek of not being in control? He is in control. Whether you like the decisions he makes, that's up to you. But he's clearly in control. You don't like what he's doing. You wish he would do different things. But to say Shad Khan's not in control, he can snap his fingers and fire the whole lot of them, or snap his fingers and give them all 10-year contracts. He's in total control. So now, I guess I misspoke there. Instead of having control, I mean, he doesn't really have a grip of what he's doing. You're right. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
let me ask you, and Ryan, I'm not saying your point's unfair about wondering what this means in terms of Trent Baalke's job status, but take Trent Baalke's name off of it. What did you think about the contract extension?
I mean, he is a good player. I mean, long term, is it the answer there? You know, I'm not that good to evaluate the whole all that. But there again, I mean, why is he even involved in doing it if he's going to be gone or stay? You know,
but how do we know he's going to be gone? Maybe he's not going to be gone. That's the point. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I understand that's what you're saying. And he may not be. But somebody pointed out yesterday, I heard Hacker and the guys talk about it. Somebody showed him in his last year in San Francisco, he gave somebody a contract extension 3 weeks before the season got fired right after.
Yeah, it was a tight end.
Yeah, it's no guarantee of anything. But I will say this, as long as he's the GM, it's his job.
Yeah.
He's doing his job. And this contract, since this is a good entree, and Ryan, thank you for the call, I don't think it's unreasonable at all.
No.
Look, you're in a circumstance where, and PFF is not the end-all, be-all, but just one example, okay? I looked up yesterday when this news got announced, who are the projected top free agent tackles next year, if you want to go into that market, okay? Number one, they had Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley's had a lot of injury issues, but, okay, he's 30 years old. He's been banged up a little bit, top guy in the market. If the Ravens, pretty smart organization, probably want him back, they'll get him back, is my guess. But all right, Ronnie Stanley at the top. Number two is Garrett Bowles. That guy's always hurt. Right? I mean, like always hurt. Number three, Cam Robinson. Okay, this is where we're at in the tackle list, all right. Yeah. You think Cam's coming back? No.
No.
Number four, Walker Little.
Yeah.
That's the list prior to that. So you're signing a guy who maybe when the dust settles, like if Ronnie Stanley re-ups, maybe he's the number one or two tackle on the market for a contract that makes him, at this moment right now, the 40th highest paid offensive lineman in the league. 26 guaranteed. Brian Sexton had a good take on, like, hey, I look at it as like a 2-year, $26 million contract because that's what's guaranteed. And that's not crazy money. No. I mean, it's crazy money in reality, right? The people walking around on the street. But it's not in NFL circles crazy money. And if you don't do that and you don't get somebody in free agency, you're almost forced to take a tackle with your first-round pick.
Yeah, give some flexibility in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, the move makes all kinds of sense, and we've mentioned that a few times the last couple weeks, right? The idea of before they traded Cam and we were looking at what are they going to do, you know, with either of these guys. And at the time, I was under the opinion that neither of them would be back, right? Like, I thought that hole was just going to be left wide open. They'll probably move Anton over there and try to figure out what to do at right tackle for the team. This gives them at least the flexibility to not have to do what they had to do when they drafted Anton. Like, by the time we got to draft night that night, and I'm fine with him being here. Harrison's a good player, and I'm glad that he's here in a Jaguars uniform. But by the time we got to draft night there in the first round, it was like, they got no choice. They got to get a tackle.
Yeah,
right.
But he was a good one, like you said. We were happy with
good
the pick.
Player, and it wound up okay, right? But I don't like going into a draft saying, "Well, they got to take this, or we got nobody to play this position," and paying someone mediocre money at a position like that right now so that it becomes, you can still draft a tackle if you want to. Like, this is not the kind of deal where it's like, well, now we can't draft a tackle if there's a guy we like at that point in the draft. Of course you can still draft a tackle.
I think it makes it a lot more likely or less likely in the top 5 to 10
It probably
picks.
does.
Yeah.
It probably does. But they still have the option on the table. And Walker, as we've been, or at least I've been saying I think he's fine. Right? Like, as a left tackle, I think he's fine. And I know fans are clamoring for get the next big thing at one of these spots on the offensive line. The bigger issue is exactly what the caller brought up. How much is this about the job security for Trent Baalke? And I can't answer that. I think it's a fine decision from an organizational standpoint to have paid Walker Little. I'm with everyone who's saying I wish it wasn't Trent Baalke that was making that kind of decision, but it doesn't make me like the decision any less.
Yeah, well, and I think about it as Trent Baalke could have been fired 3 weeks ago. Somebody else could have still made this deal.
Probably not, though. If you've got an interim GM in there, you're probably not giving them that.
But it's such a understandable deal for the team that somebody could have made that deal. It's not like here's $150 million and you're the top, left tackle getting paid in the league or anything type deal.
Look, if Walker Little waits, probably make more.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
But he also, I haven't had that big payday. I got to go play for another 6 games, right? So what if I get hurt, right? I mean, all of a sudden my market value collapses. So, it's like MJD. He got a deal a little early, took less than what the market would have borne had he made it out to free. But you're getting security.
Yes.
You're getting injury security. So I will say I had the exact same reaction. Well, what does this mean? Is Shad, if I'm the owner and I'm like on the brink of firing this guy, do I not think, well, maybe the next GM might not make this move, right? And so why would I handcuff this GM? And I don't know if Shad is football savvy enough to go, that's a good deal regardless of who the GM is. I really don't know, right? And it may just be the fact that he's like, well, I'm not ready to move on from Baalke and or Peterson. I don't know, right? And it's certainly that's possible, but I don't think that should allow us, like you said, Tony, no matter who made this deal, was it a good deal or a bad deal? Do you like Brian Thomas? Because Baalke picked him. Everything Baalke touches is not bad.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think there is a school of people out there, and I understand you want him gone, but that doesn't mean every move he makes is absolutely the wrong one. If somebody else, Joe Smith, had signed this deal, I think people would have been fine with it, All right, let's get John at Ponte Vedra up next here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, John.
Good morning. I'm thinking when we're talking about the Trevor Lawrence hit, a couple of callers ago said, why didn't we get the 15 yards and the others offset? And I texted this, but I had to call. You can't tell me that the Texans didn't commit a single penalty in that melee. And I think that's what he was getting at. That melee should have resulted in more penalties that would offset, because one occurred in the field of play and the others occurred after the play. I mean, I just think that the refs chose not to enforce them because they were flags everywhere.
Well, I'll say I don't know what Evan Ingram specifically did. I know they said Jarian Jones threw a punch. And if you are seen throwing a punch, especially if you leave the bench, right, to do it, you're going to get the flag. And I saw a lot of pushing and shoving. I didn't see a lot of punches thrown. I understand what you're saying. You could have thrown 50 flags probably in that circumstance. And they're trying to pick out the most egregious examples. And look, the NFL rules are what they are. And unless they change them, it really doesn't matter. As long as there's one on each side, it's going to be offsetting. They're going to be 50 on one side, one on the other. And it's going to end up offsetting.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense or equitable, but.
Right. And I think the officials in that circumstance, that we all knew the player who hit him was going to be thrown out of the game, right? Like the moment it happened and you got the reaction you did on the field with Evan needing to come in to defend his guy the way he did. Like, I'm okay with the NFL having rules in place that there is a penalty on Evan Ingram for coming in and clearing him off, right? Like, I'm okay with that rule existing and that being a penalty, and now things are offset. I'm all right with the way that those things kind of play out. I know people were asking why weren't more penalty flags thrown with the when they almost went at it again in the end zone. I think the officials were asked about it after the game.
They were, and they said, he was already thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
So
it was like we didn't see the need for another one.
So think about that, though. Okay, I can next time, if I'm the Jags, next time we play Houston, I can kill C.J. Stroud. I can break his neck. I can do whatever. I get thrown out of the game. Then I'm free to do anything, apparently, right? And I can go around and breaking other people's necks. Is that what the refs are saying?
And I think more importantly, whatever decision the league is going to make about whatever discipline there's going to be for the player, right? Like, I think him going back into it and the possibility that the officials on the field were just like, well, we've already penalized them. What are we supposed to do? Right? Like, it's like we can't penalize them 5 times on the same play necessarily. It's what it felt like they're saying. I think from a league discipline standpoint, that's going to be part of the process here. I don't know what it's going to wind up being. I would be very disappointed if at least the initial suspension they hand out in the rest of the 2020.
I can tell you this. It has to be something very severe, because if it's nothing, if it's a game check or he misses a game, what's going to stop anybody else from laying the wood on a quarterback that's almost out of bounds, or he touches out of bounds, but he plows into him, or the same situation? It's got to be something where guys are like, look, that's not what we do. First of all, we ain't trying to hurt and kill guys like that. But also, shoot, I might be gone for like 5 or 6 weeks. I might be gone for the rest of this, whatever it is.
And that's real money. Now, that's game checks.
Yeah, that's
it's not,
real.
It's not this $50,000, which is a lot of money, but it's not.
But you can do that. You can take that, but to not be playing and also not getting paid, that's where you're hurting the guys, and that will make other guys not do it.
If Rodgers got a pair, or not, and the whole crew. All right, the rest of you on the line, stay right there. We'll get to you coming up here in just a few moments. You're listening to Jaguars Today, obviously on a Reaction Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey, and today calling a timeout to shout out Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's their 10-year anniversary. 10 years ago, Paige had developed a long-term solution for weight loss that could work for anyone, even guys like me. She cut through the misconceptions of lose weight, quick gadgets, fad diets, and medications, completely revolutionizing the weight loss industry with real results. More importantly, lasting results. Free support for life was and still is the backbone of the Awaken 180 program. 10 years later, 23,000 clients have lost a combined 750,000 pounds. Clients who've eliminated the need for cholesterol medications, blood pressure, and even type 2 diabetes medications. People like me, your neighbors, friends, and family who wanted to take back control of their weight, health, and happiness. I, for one, am so happy I found Awaken 180, and I know you'll be happy as well if you make the same choice. Here's to the next 10 years, and check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We live the best moments from the weekend's games. That's what superstars do. Post-game Monday. Expert analysis of Sunday's game all day. Brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, 1010XL family. Dr. Chris Cott PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Are aches and pains holding you back from doing activities you love? Pickleball, golf, or just day-to-day living? Are your kids struggling with injuries and need to get back in the game? My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call today at 904-996-6922, 904-996-6922, PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, gang, Prosser here to save you some cash. Maximize your home sale now with the market experts who deliver more money in less time, and those experts are Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. You don't have to worry. The worries are relieved with Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mortgage rates are down. It's time to create your market. Marvin in Cobblestone writes, my siblings and I moved our parents to Maryland so they can get some extra help as they get older. Next, we had to sell the home to get them some financial help for their extra care. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they delivered big. Chad and Sandy's team got our home sold in 7 days above asking price. You can too. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need custom large metal fab gates or automatic gate controls? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So call Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. CoilJacks.com.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Save money this holiday season. Buy pre-owned. That's right. Pre-owned guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and especially jewelry. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is here to help you save. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Help fight skin cancer by playing golf at the Hit 'em Straight Golf Tournament December 30th at Queens Harbor for a day of food and fun while raising money for the Melanoma Research Foundation. To sign up, call 904-507-1401.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Southern Oak Insurance. Florida head coach Billy Napier had a really good feeling about his defense in the win over FSU.
We played complimentary ball. I thought defensively we were really lights out. We had a season high in TFLs and sacks.
The Noles head coach Mike Norvell took the last game of the season to offer an apology.
To the Florida State fans, the university, past players, even the guys that are in that locker room, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what showed up throughout the course this year, but it will be fixed.
The Georgia Bulldogs men's basketball team cruised past the Jacksonville Dolphins on Saturday night. 6 scorers reached double figures. The JU pressure was aggressive, but fell flat in the end. Up next, the JU Dolphins are at home Thursday versus Florida Tech. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 11:01, it's 55 degrees. Time and Sun brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
Trevor, are you okay? Are you okay, Trevor?
I hope so. Hope he is. I will say, I feel like Tony wanted to roll his eyes so badly at that. I kind of read it on his face right there.
I wanted you to keep going.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if I could have kept the beat. I don't know if I ever had the beat. But I will say I wanted to add something quickly to the whole Walker Little conversation. We were just talking on the break about this, right? I heard from so many people. They were so sure that they knew Trevor's thought process that, well, Trevor's watching. If Shad Khan doesn't fire the whole coaching staff, Trevor's not going to play the rest of the year. He's going to shut it down. You watch. This quote, injury is going to get a lot worse. Well, what did he do? He showed up probably less than 100%, and he wanted to go out there and play and toughed it out. And so that was BS. Oh, Walker Little never re-signed in Jacksonville. You know that how? Oh, well, they made him play guard. Walker Little hates Bulky. Walker Little hates the way he's been treated. And you know that how? Walker Little tell you that over dinner? I mean, oh, you want our $15 million a year, Walker? Oh, you do want our $15 million a year. Money talks, man. I mean, it's this idea that and it was probably a vocal minority, as it usually is, but this guy is thinking that way. You don't know.
No.
Don't come in like you know what somebody's thinking unless they've told you that personally. Yeah. And even then, you can't be sure that that's what they're really thinking.
Right. And when we were talking about this a few weeks ago, my opinion at the time was Cam's definitely not going to be coming back. This is before they traded him. I thought Walker likely wouldn't be coming back because he would be among the 3 or 4
He'd be getting
best left tackles that would be available in free agency. And if I trying to put myself in Walker's shoes, I was like, if I was Walker and Jacksonville came to me with an offer, I'd be like, well, why haven't I played?
Because you couldn't beat out the other guy.
For 3.5. I get that's from the team perspective. That's what they'd say. I don't care about that if I'm Walker.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, now you want to give me an offer of whatever? Like, I thought that's the way the situation would play out. It didn't.
Right, but I don't think you ever, Tony, were like, there's no way Walker Little would take the money for, like, Walker, I'd hear from plenty. Walker Little hates Doug Peterson. Walker Little hates Trent Baalke. Walker Little hates the Jaguars.
Several steps beyond our would be willing to go.
Way out of anything that there's any, like, I get it. Like you say, you can make some logical guesses.
I wouldn't have been surprised if there was some animosity from Walker's side, given the way the things have played out to this point in his Jaguars career. I'm fine
being
with
frustrated,
it. Right, like not getting in the way of this deal getting done and him saying, all right, 15 a year, fine. You know what? I can certainly live on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on past that. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Let's go to Steve in Ponte Vedra next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Okay, what's up?
Good. Hey, I'm so glad Trevor's doing well and is recovering. Questions for David. How did you feel Trevor played the first when he was in? It was, I thought, 4 for 12. And then another good thing was Mac Jones, how he played. We want some insight on that.
Yeah, I thought Trevor was very rusty. He missed too many open guys, and I just kept saying, man, he's just missing these guys. Like they're there. Plays are there to be made. So, yeah, I was a little frustrated with that, and I figured, him getting into the second half, maybe he would knock some of that rust off and be able to pick up like he's done in the past, those guys did in the second half. But then when Matt got in, you could just tell, like, he came in and had, like, just some juice. He had a little bit more energy.
As did the whole team. But just him specifically. And it's nice when you can run the ball 8 straight times and get it down to the, inside the 5-yard line. But definitely he came in and was like, look, I'm out here. Wasn't planning on being out here, but I'm ready to go now. It's my show today. It's not just for a play or two. He knew that. So he definitely came in with a little bit of a spark. Don't kid yourself. That's a stealth. Mac Jones should be the starter call. That's what that is. That's all that is. They've been quiet for 2 weeks.
We had 2 weeks to watch him.
And I don't believe I've heard from certain people in that 2-week period. And now they're going to they're going to slide it in that way. Oh, I'm so glad Trevor's okay. By the way, what do you think? By the way, it's 4 out of 10, not 4 out of 12. Oh, that's exactly what that call was.
I hope they weren't trying to slide that in.
Guarantee you what that call was. Let's go to Jerry in Arlington up next. Go ahead, Jerry.
Good morning, guys. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Peterson argued for quite a while with the referee yesterday. The reason why they blew the call was because one was a live ball foul. A dead ball foul cannot offset a live ball foul. So the call was blown. They should have got the 15-yard penalty.
Okay, but then what happens? What happens immediately after that?
That's dead ball.
Okay, right. And do you not enforce a dead ball foul?
Well, you had to have fouls on both teams.
But they didn't call any. Okay, but the way they called it. Okay,
but that's what I'm saying. They blew the call.
Well, you're saying they should have penalized. But in terms of the execution of it, if you say, all right, this is a live ball foul, here's 15 yards tacked on, it's 1st and 10. Okay, now play's over with. We get a dead ball foul. We're going to back the Jaguars up. It's now 1st and 25. That's what it would be.
But a dead ball. All the years I officiated, I never had or saw where a dead ball foul offset.
So how would you then? All right. So a player's called for the live ball foul, and another player's called for the dead ball personal foul. How do you referee that?
I've never seen it like that. That's what I'm saying. Anytime players come on the field off the bench, that's a foul.
Okay, but
so they blew the call by not calling the penalty.
Right, you're saying they should have called more penalties. Okay, but I'm talking about the execution of the penalties that were actually called. Did they do that properly?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you could execute that.
Okay,
because
Jerry, I don't care how many penalties you think should have been called on the Texans. In a scenario, let's say nobody left the bench and live ball foul on Azeez Al-Shaair, okay, plays over, then Jarian Jones comes in and punches somebody, and he gets a dead ball personal foul. How do you referee that?
Well, if he threw a punch, he's supposed to be thrown out of the game, too.
Okay, fine. How do you assess the penalties on that?
Like I say, they just blew the call.
Okay, you are just not getting it. Okay, and I doubt you refereed in the NFL. You wouldn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Okay, you think more penalties should have been called. I'm talking about a hypothetical where one guy's penalty is a live ball, the other guy's a dead ball.
And that happens.
Okay,
it's not like that doesn't happen.
And so if you want to say, okay, they should be separate, then you're going to assess the 15, then it's 1st and 10. Now we're going to assess the 15 against them. It's going to be 1st and 25. It's more penalizing to the team who made the dead ball foul. Yeah. Wouldn't make any sense.
Well, if you had all the dead ball fouls, say that they all defeated one another, right? Like these, we don't have to enforce, like that kind of thing, because they cancel each other out. Yeah. I can understand an argument for, well, the live ball foul should still be enforced. I don't know exactly how that rule works, right? But if you had dead ball fouls on both of them after the play, obviously, the live foul, I don't know if that still should have been enforced.
I don't think
on
it
the
would
play,
be.
But that's where the unclearness comes in for me, because I can understand the idea being we have a live foul, we have to enforce that, then figure out what we're doing with the dead ball stuff. Like, I can understand if that's the way that penalty situation would work out, but I don't see it enough to know.
But in terms of it was called incorrectly, okay, so you penalize everybody for the Texans who left the bench. Okay, there are a lot of guys on the Jags who left the bench who didn't get penalized. So we're going to penalize everyone on both teams who was not on the field to play when it happened, right? Yeah. So what do we have, 40 offsetting penalty? I mean, what are we talking about here? And then, on top of that, then Jarian Jones is the one who threw the punch. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm not picking on Jarian Jones at all. I thought everything the Jags did in response was justifiable yesterday.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, that's where the actual putting it into play thing comes into me. Like, if dead balls say they cleared the bench, we're calling everyone who cleared the bench, that's a foul, right? And then he threw a punch, they offset. Right, like the dead ball stuff, I think in that situation, like it would on a play, if you had 3 penalties on the offense and 1 on the defense, offset, right? Like during a play. I can understand dead ball that would be the way that plays out. I don't know why the live foul wouldn't still be enforced.
Okay, so but there weren't offsetting, Pat. You can argue about they should have called more on Houston, but they didn't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they got that part of the process of this right.
Right, that's why I'm trying to ask.
Curious.
If it had just gone the way it was, and there was 1 live ball foul in Houston and 2 dead ball fouls on the Jags, and no other fouls were called, how do you expect that to be officiated? Jerry would not answer that question. There should have been more fouls called. That's not the question. Yeah. Okay? Like, how else do you think they should execute that?
And if that's the way that they actually called it, I would think they would just cancel each other out.
Right.
That's how I think that would play out.
Yeah.
Right. I think it happens all the time.
All the time.
We see guys, all kinds of things happen after the play, and its flag comes out. Oh, we would have had offsides on him, but you had to.
And with what they actually called on the field, that's what it was. They didn't call all the stuff for Houston after the play. Like, Houston was the hit.
They really didn't call anything for Jacksonville after the play except the punch. Because Evan Ingram was on the field as part, in the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, it was the one penalty. And so they did it all.
Right. They could have penalized everybody who left the sideline probably to participate in some degree.
We'd be playing in the parking lot if we were penalizing everybody that left the sideline.
Let's go to Sean on the west side next up on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Good.
I love your show.
Thank you.
I listen to every Monday, even after the losses we had this season. Look, I really was irate. I'm glad I didn't go to the game yesterday because I probably would have been escorted out the stadium with the Texans fans that I saw in the crowd on the TV. But just a real quick, man, I'm glad Trevor's okay, but I just have a new hate for the Texans now. It used to be the Titans, now it's the Texans because this fan base is, for defending that on social media after during the game, because I was seeing that on the social media, I thought that just was cheap and classless. And it makes me love my Jaguars even more. So I like to say, from all that,
Sean, man, I felt the exact same way. I can't tell you how to feel about who to hate more.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I needed a reason to hate somebody more than Tennessee, that was plenty of reason right there. And you're right, the reaction to it, what? That's not who he is. That's not who I am. I never tried to hurt anybody. Blah, 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 blah. And then the fans defending it. Oh, it's clean. It was clean. Come on. So I'm with you right there. Let that meteor strike the entire city.
I can't believe somebody would say that was clean.
Read my timeline. All right, or if I haven't blocked them already. If you're that stupid, I don't need you infecting my timeline like that. All right. It's a fun day, isn't it? Oh, man. So many things that happen on the field, too. And look, the Jags lost. Now they're almost in pole position here to get the number one pick in the draft. Let's see how it goes rest of the way. That's where we're at. 641-1010 if you want to get in on a reaction Monday. Tony will take us around the league. Yes, there were other things happening in the NFL yesterday. We'll get to that coming up on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
That's Duval. It ain't no getting up in those stands and thinking you're going to run or test us.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. That game where every yard counts. One player's performance stands out. That's what you want from a leader. Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Touchdown, what a throw! On 1010XL.
We heard you loud and clear, Jags fans, and we're taking it back to the 90s again. The Prowler throwback jerseys return to the field Sunday, December 15th, when your Jaguars take on the New York Jets. Be at the bank to see them in action while joining us for our Inspire Change game. To lock in your seats, head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O. If you want high quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
These are interesting economic times. That's why it's so important to have someone you can count on. That's ITP Partners. Jacksonville folks taking care of our Jacksonville money. Experience? You best believe you want to give your hard-earned money to folks you trust. Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan, Dan Abel, Reed Wingate, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reagan Wright have the expertise and knowledge to help clients in their financial lives, focusing on investment management, financial planning, and risk management. ITP Partners, financial partners for life. Securities offered through American Portfolios Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida.
We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
The 1010XL restaurant of the day is Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island. Enjoy Monday Night Football with freshly made pizza, burgers, wings, sandwiches, and a full liquor bar at Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a septic tank emergency.
Don't let your holidays go down the drain. Duck Duck Rooter's here to save your Christmas cheer. Whether it's a stubborn clog, a burst pipe, or a septic scare, we'll fix it faster than Santa can slide down a chimney. Duck Duck Rooter. Call us now and save the day. 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, because nobody wants a silent night in the bathroom.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Bud Light and everyone at Anheuser-Busch want to remind you to get home safely every time. People are counting on you on the road and at home. Plan ahead with safe rides and don't forget to hydrate between beers. Bud Light encourages everyone to enjoy responsibly and socialize safely.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. HairForMe.com.
You've worked hard to have nice things. Protect and enjoy them with a luxury storage unit at The Shed, opening soon in Atlantic Beach. You got to see these places to believe them. What a smart investment out at AB. I can take 10 minutes, but I can't tell you everything. Go to theshedjacks.com or take a tour on Instagram.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by waterboyjacks.com.
All right, DG is here. Glad to have him here. Month of December. Rabbit. A little late for that. You get the idea. Fresh start for your Jacksonville Jaguars. By the way, like, I'm emotional. Surprise, right? Like, I react, whatever. I'm not mad. Like, Jaguar fans, this should be the thing that unites you, right? Your hatred of that piece of scum, the coach who defended him, all those horrible fans who said that was clean, that's the focus, right? And, like, I get it. You can feel how you feel. I'm not saying don't feel the way you feel about the coaching staff or the front office or certain players or whatever. You're entitled to feel how you feel. I really felt like, man, in a season of disappointment, I don't want it to come at Trevor Lawrence's health expense, but it seems like a focal point to remind you we're not the common enemy. It's them who's the enemy.
Duval versus all y'all.
Versus all y'all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for the ones, again, you're entitled to feel how you feel. When, what's your reaction? Don't care. All right, Duval till we die, right? Duval till we die, unless the Jags aren't any good. That's not part of the phrase. All right, I'm just saying. I mean, you're entitled to not care. I don't want to hear Duval till we die if you're saying you don't care about what's going on with a team that gets 17 games a year guaranteed to them, and that's it. So, anyway, let's go around the rest of the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Tennessee cornerback Roger McCreary suffered a shoulder injury, was unable to return to their game yesterday. The Jags play at Tennessee this week. Detroit is signing free agent safety Jamal Adams to their practice squad. He was released by Tennessee a couple of weeks ago. Minnesota cornerback Stephon Gilmore and New York Jets corner Sauce Gardner left their games yesterday with hamstring injuries and a couple of major injuries. We don't have all the details yet, but it is expected that New Orleans tight end Taysom Hill and San Francisco running back Christian McCaffrey likely to miss the rest of the season. Both undergoing MRIs today, but both left with leg injuries. Both expected to be knee injuries. We'll see exactly how they play out, but the expectation is both will be done for the year.
I think they're saying PCL, the posterior cruciate ligament. I don't know.
Good job.
Better or worse, for Christian McCaffrey. It's less common.
Yeah.
You don't want any of your ligaments.
Any of the cruciate ligaments.
Yeah.
They're pretty crucial.
Yeah.
Those cruciate ligaments. Yeah. Tony, I honestly, at what point in the game, if you know, did Taysom Hill get hurt?
Fourth quarter. It was late in the fourth quarter.
So it was late. Okay, I was wondering, because we had a 2-week breakfast bowl, and I was convinced I was going to lose it because I only had like 2 guys doing anything, and Tony and I were close.
Bucky got you.
Going in today,
Bucky had
Irving.
that catch in the run. He had to catch for about 25 yards, and I was like, that's going to put him over the top. Like, I was paying close enough attention that I knew that's right where it was. It was about a 3-4 point and that's what got it done.
Yeah, I just assumed Taysom would get a little bit more. I didn't know if he went out like in a wasn't.
No, it was late.
Paying that much attention.
Yeah, he still got me like 9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get you 12 though.
No, he didn't.
All right, that's for later on down the week. So just looking at the performance yesterday, now that we've gotten a lot of the anger off our chests, I'm still mad about the circumstance, but looking at, again, we praised Mac Jones in the postgame, and deservedly so. Came in cold, rode that wave of emotion. I thought the funniest moment was when somebody gave him a glancing blow on the helmet, right? And he's like getting up, pointing at the helmet, and when he gets no flag, he had a kind of a look like, okay, then, all right, here we go, let's go, like give me that ball again, and so that was fun.
I think somebody was in his ear because the play was over and he was still talking about it, and they're like, hey, let's go, we got to get going here, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, my bad, give me the play.
Well, did they call the timeout, or did they get the delay a game on the one where they hit another? They do this. They hit a big play down the field.
Delay a game.
They did take the delay a game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, this is great, blah, blah, blah. And we're all like, well, let's talk about how great that play. And then by the time it's time to snap it,
Brian Thomas Jr. on that little shallow crossing route that he took up the sideline, they had to delay a game after that play. Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get different people on the field, and the quarterback is being talked to, and this guy is like, how did I do on that play? And you're like, let's get lined up, and then a play comes in that might be a little difficult to enunciate in the huddle, or you tell everybody, and you're like, oh, shoot, we got 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So
quarterback sneak.
Especially on big plays that happen down the field. That guy didn't get off the ground fast enough. There's a lot that happens. You don't want it to happen because you're like, we just had a big play. Let's ride the momentum. and then, of course, something like that happens.
You know, we talk about all the guys that were in line to maybe get contract extensions with this team, right? And in the offseason, a bunch of them happened. Walker Little was like, well, we'll see. And it happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Andre Sisco is the glaring example of the guy who didn't get one. And then you had that play early in the game where it's like, oh, Ronald Darby got burned. Well, Ronald Darby maybe didn't get burned because Ronald Darby was hot. And immediately they pulled Sisco out of the game.
I saw the play, and I'm like, that's him. He's supposed to be there. He's supposed to be there for his corner. He tries to cut somebody, and then the ball is overthrown. Yeah, I unfortunately am not very happy with the way that he's played most of the season. If you didn't get a contract, but you felt like you deserved to get a contract, this is not the way you perform during the season to say, see, I should have got this contract. No, you're proving that we were right by not giving you something too early. So it's unfortunate, but he does not look like the same kind of player.
He does. He feels like a guy that may go somewhere and flourish in his second contract. And you could say, well, how come we didn't get at him? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Is it the coaching? Is it the player? It's probably a combination of both. And
But it's been like missed tackles. It's
blown assignments.
Blown assignment. A guy is outrunning your angle. Are you that slow? You're the last line of defense back there. We need you to be one of those faster, quicker guys in case somebody does break loose, that they don't go for 65 on us.
Darnell Savage has played both safety and nickel corner for the Jags, right? Except when Dalton Schultz wants to go uncovered, right? So Antonio Johnson had his moments of relevance early on and then kind of got pushed to the bench because of poor play. So my point in all this is, how big of a need is safety for this football team, going into the offseason?
I don't feel like this is something like I remember us talking about our secondary like in the preseason thinking, man, we are pretty solidified here in the secondary, and we are not. We are not. I don't know. It's unfortunate, too, that Campbell gets, like, banged up often. He keeps competing because when he is healthy, he is clearly our best DB. Clearly our best
He slipped
DB.
on the play covering Nico Collins that went for 40.
I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just saying that was it.
Yes.
I'm just acknowledging that it happened.
But it's just, man, I don't know.
It feels like they have a secondary that going into 25, you'll feel good about Tyson Campbell and whatever Jarian Jones is going to turn into going into year 2, and everything else is wide open.
Yeah.
Boy, I want to feel good about Monteric Brown, and I have for most of the season, and we all have seen, like, if you go back and look at that last run by Joe Mixon that clinched the first down.
Ugly play.
I mean, it is so bad. Yeah. Like, he's literally, like, standing, waiting. No one engages him. No one blocks him. And then
he kind of stays behind the guys that's getting blocked.
Okay, and now here comes Mixon, and he leans towards him and then pulls back as he runs right by him. It was like, what in the world was that? And this is a guy, Dave, who is physical in run support, who will come up and stick a guy, which is, at least he has this year. I didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah, inexplicable.
In that circumstance. I mean, the game is still in the balance.
Yeah.
You're hot. You scored 14 in the fourth quarter here.
We need to stop.
You got a kicker with a big leg, even though he missed one. Okay, he's got the leg. It's a 3-point game. We
need to stop.
Man, that was...
he did not fire his wad.
He did not fire.
He held it in.
He certainly did not make the tackle. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, we'll come back. Final segment with David Garrard in studio here on a Reaction Monday. We'll get some of yours from social media when we come back on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
When Jacksonville needed some late-game magic, they would go to the lucky number 7. Thanks to a 10-play sequence capped off by a 6-yard Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown and a 2-point conversion, the Teal and Black would make the score 23-20 with 3:31 left in the game. The 84-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Hey, John, I think everyone in Jacksonville is ready to elevate their ride.
Absolutely. At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have stunning 2024 Escalades and Lyrics in stock right now.
And the great news is you can get a $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Don't wait for the 2025 models to come in.
Luxury is just a visit away. Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Not available with some other offers. Must take retail delivery by 10/31/24 plus tax tag title, $8.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC, 904-859-3742.
When it comes to selling your home, it can be stressful. Take the stress out with my friends, Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. How's this for a guarantee? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers, and if you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home. Take Kim in Palm Coast. I needed to move closer to family ASAP, but I had to sell my Palm Coast home first. I tried and failed with another agent. So my family said, you got to call Chad and Sandy. Well, sure enough, as promised, Chad and Sandy did it. They sold my home in 3 days, above asking price. Call the local Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound and Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundandSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound and Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employer.
Pick it here for Bout 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bout 9. Visit Bout 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bout 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
On Sunday morning, the Jaguars announced a contract extension for left tackle Walker Little. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, it's a 3-year extension worth $45 million. The deal includes $26 million guaranteed. The contract extension ties Walker Little to Jacksonville through the 2027 season. In a statement released by the Jaguars, GM Trent Baalke said of Little, "He is a homegrown talent who has grown up in our system. Time and time again, Walker stepped in when needed and stepped up his game at the tackle position." Those the words of Trent Baalke. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Now the wait begins to see what happens with Trevor Lawrence's recovery, right? With the concussion. I'm happy to see him put out there on social media last night that he's feeling better. Thank you for everyone support, reaching out, and all that. Tony, I fully believe, left to his own devices, if he clears the concussion protocol, Trevor Lawrence is going to be like, hey, that's what I do. As long as, he didn't have a setback with the shoulder.
Yeah.
I play football. That's what I do. Does the organization protect himself from himself? Because it's a head injury. And it is his second one in about a calendar year, right? It happened in week 15 last year. So maybe less than a calendar year. And to me, this is a different kind of thing. If he twisted his ankle and you're like, the ankle's okay, he's still mobile enough to play the position, and he's still dealing with the AC joint, but, so be it. You go out and play.
Normal situations, you don't look at it like that. You look, when are you going to be healthy? When can we get you healthy so we can get you back on the field? That's what you normally do. So anything different than that is because we want to protect you. We want to get you into the offseason so we can start building things up around you and making you a better quarterback and all that kind of stuff. But to say now, because it's a concussion, he's not looking back at last year's concussion. No player is doing that unless you had one a couple
He's not, maybe.
Yeah,
right.
Unless you had one a couple weeks ago or at the beginning of the season, then you're like, okay, that's two within the same season. He's not looking back to. He had the whole off season. He had preseason. Right. But
hell, he played last year.
Yeah.
So
soon after, and I believe he played decent. I think in his return. Can't remember, but I don't know. It's tough because
it is tough
when you're a player, and I'm not a player anymore. But when you're a player, you're like, look, get me back on the field as soon as possible. Now I want to be smart. I don't want to rush myself back out there next week. It's not like we got the playoffs on the line, but I also want to be out there with my team. Did you guys see how my team responded to what happened to me out there on the field? I want to be back out there with them. I don't care about all this outside noise. I know we don't have a great record, but it is hard to keep somebody who has been playing ball since the age of probably 8 to stay off the field and you're healthy and there's nothing wrong with you. Now, it may give him an opportunity to go get that shoulder fixed that he's talked about or they've talked about. May need a little bit of surgery.
Or may not. That's the
or
thing,
may not. So
right? It was going to be week to week anyway from what he said last week.
Yeah, but if you're out here playing, then to me, unless you get hit again on it and it's worse, you're still going to come back out the very next week if he wasn't injured with this concussion. So it's tough. Sometimes the team can just say, you know what, we're just going to shut you down. It's the best thing for the team moving forward in the future.
Yeah, and you want to, when you've got, and I don't know what Doug Peterson's conversations are like with Sean Khan and Trent Baalke, and Trent Baalke's conversations with those guys. You know, like, you're a coach who thinks I might have to win. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that whatever's done is done in the best interest of Trevor's health. And I think it would be, honestly. He is the kind of guy that I think you're going to have to restrain more than force him out there when he's not comfortable.
And I also think, too, his teammates are also going to say, look, dude, like, we gave it a great try this year. I know it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, and we know you're a trooper. We know you're toughest guy on the field, but we're going to talk to the coach and say we think it's best if you not continue to try to come out here after that hit with your shoulder, because they know way more that's going on than we do outside here. Like, he may be getting all kinds of treatment, getting a shot in his shoulder, all kinds of things just to go out there. And so they're like, we need you going into next season. We don't need you trying to recover all off season to be ready to go next season. We need you day one of OTAs. We need you lifting weights with us. We need all that kind of stuff. So we just think it'd be smart. We're going to talk. We're going to at least talk to somebody about it. I don't, but who are you talking to? Are you talking to guys that are on their way out the door? That's the problem.
Right. It's so, let's just see, instead of guessing how it all is going to play out, let's see what they end up doing here. And I think, there's no sense in getting ahead of it. For them even, right? There's no sense that unless they have already made a determination like, hey, based on everything, we're going to put Trevor on IR. If you're not going to do that, then
you don't have him out there as a backup.
Right. Exactly. So I could see him not playing this week, but if you're not going to put him on IR and the shoulder, he gets another week off from taking hits on the shoulder, and maybe the shoulder feels bad. I don't know.
Even if it's a couple weeks.
Right. Who's to say what they're going to do? And again, you can feel how you want to feel about that, right? I don't blame the Jags a single bit or Trevor Lawrence a single bit for him taking the field yesterday.
No.
I just don't.
That's what I'm here for.
And there are a lot of people that never should have been out there, stupid organization. Like, okay, then what about Trayvon? Is Trayvon an important part of our future? Because he could blow out a knee, playing down the stretch.
You try and stop me from getting on the field when this is my job. This is what I've dreamed of doing my whole life. And now because I got a little injury here and there, I'm not supposed to take the field? No.
Right, and granted, we don't know the extent of the injury. He does, though.
Yeah.
And he
took the field.
Yes. And that's the thing. If he didn't, it's so funny because it would have, to some people, confirmed. He's just trying to get Doug Peterson out of here. No. I mean, he either can play or he can't play in his mind, and he could. So he did. All right, let's look at some of the responses here. That's funny. I see a headline here on SI.com. Azeez Al-Shahir apologizes to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars for dirty hit. No, he didn't. He doesn't think he made a dirty hit.
Yeah, he said for a hit that some people are calling dirty.
Right, or what? And he put everything in quotes.
It's like it's not a real apology.
No,
man.
it's not an apology.
Right.
You're trying to look at me, praise God,
and get in front of the camera.
Yeah, do it right. Do it. Where were you yesterday?
Yeah,
hiding after the game.
They were looking for you to put you in front of the camera.
Who else would they want to talk to?
Yeah, I'd still be mad at him today if he had come out and had a real apology. I'd still be like, what is wrong with you, right? And you should be suspended for the next month. Like, that's what I think should happen with this guy because of how the play played out. But
this is the guy's trying to save himself some money.
Right, but
lessen whatever suspension or punishment might be coming his way.
No thank you.
That's what it reads to me. Question of the day, what is your reaction to the Jags 23-20 loss to the Texans yesterday? Cristiano said, clean house already. What is the point in not doing it. Well, that's your prerogative, and a lot of people share that. The point is that's really up to the owner.
Yeah.
His point may be I'm not arguing for. I'm just saying from his point of view, he may go, okay, Doug Peterson's been here, division title, winning season, really bad season, 2 good, 1 bad.
Mm-hmm.
Does he deserve 1 more year to right the ship? I'm telling. I mean, how can that not be part of the thought process for Shad Khan? Because they are at 2-10, and they are on track to have the best pick in the draft for the 3rd time in like 5 years. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Ms. Nika says, I just want to talk to number 0 for a second. That's an appropriate number for that guy, by the way. This one from, let's see. I got to see if this, this guy's a Chiefs fan. Don't care what you think. Did we honestly think it would end any different? Honestly, at 12:59 yesterday, we all knew this one was over before it started, regardless of what transpired on the field. It's even just more evident now. It's coaching, not players.
I didn't feel that way when the game started.
I didn't either. And they lost by 3. And it's coaching. I mean, Trevor was off yesterday. Did they coach him to miss guys?
Just sail it over their head. I've heard that. Right. So, do you know how many times I've heard that as a quarterback?
You would have been you would have probably had a longer career if you listened.
If you tell me to sail it over their head, I probably will throw it right into their chest. That's why I was always told that. Yeah. Sail it over their head, Dave. It'll end up in their chest.
All right, let's see. Honestly, probably best case scenario, young guys showed some growth. This from Spider Jag. Run game woke up, and draft pick is still, intact. Would have wanted to win if Trevor was out there, but I'll take it, meaning, I guess, all the circumstances. And look, I get it now. I don't want the Jags to have more games like Detroit, but I also would love for the Jags to have the number 1 pick in the draft. You know, it'd be great if they can win out and still get the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
If y'all can make that happen,
exactly
on board.
That's exactly what I was saying yesterday going into the game. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm cheering. If we win, great. I still want to be able to keep the number 1 pick.
Bro, all thoughts of draft position left my body at that moment yesterday. Like, I just wanted to destroy that team and leave them as a smear on the sidewalk, but that's me. And I'm no tough guy. I would have run over there, but by the time I got there, I would have had to use the men's room. So
you've been back.
I wouldn't have been a whole lot of help. All right, I would have been like, I gotta pee. All right, I'm old, man. So I'm not trying to pretend I'm some kind of a tough guy. I would not have been in the middle of anything. But if I were a 20-something with all those pads on, baby, let's get me some at that point in time. All right, Jags lose it, 2-10 now. We'll see tonight. I do think they couldn't be mathematically eliminated if Denver wins the game.
I think if Denver wins, I think the Jags are done.
Yeah, officially. Yeah. No matter what happens from that point
If Denver wins again this year, I think the Jags are
Agreed,
done.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, no one's sitting here going, hey, there's still a chance. Like, there is a mathematical chance. There's a mathematical chance that meteor will hit Al-Shahir, whatever the hell his name is. I'm rooting for it, but I don't expect it to happen. That's me. I'm a bad person. What can I tell you? I mean, I have no control over the media.
At least you own it.
I'm not saying anyone should take out any retribution. I'm saying if the good Lord above deems that a meteor strike is the appropriate answer, I'm not. Who am I to argue with that, Tony? That seems like that's way above my pay grade. All right. That'll do it for us here.
Oh, my gosh.
DG, have a great week.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Do.
My wife has told me to say that there is a all-women's flag football league that she is in, and she would like more young ladies to sign up. It starts at the age of 22. They play on Racetrack Road, and it's getting older, not younger. So if you're young and you're vibrant and you want to catch some touchdowns, play a little flag football, please. She told him to go to my Instagram, which is David Garrard _9 on Instagram, and she will contact you, not me, because I don't never check any of that stuff.
This guy, first of all, not me. She told me to say this. All right, it's some hostage video we got. going on here.
Please save me.
If you'd love to play under these circumstances, go check out David Garrard.
There's no glancing blows as you go in sliding too, because it's flag.
Hopefully not. All right? Hopefully not. All right. Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys.
For DG, for Tony Smith, for Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tomorrow, check the tape Tuesday with Jeff Loggeman, and on we go.
Yes, we do.
From that point, stick around. Helmets and Heels coming up next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.